Hey guys, we are live. Today we have a very special guest by the name of Dylan King. He's the owner and founder of Pistol in Paris, a cannabis brand, a Canadian cannabis brand, and he does things a little differently. So excitedly, we are going to invite him in here in a second. And he has a claim to fame. His tagline is from legacy to legal, and we're going to talk about that, all the challenges and everything that it took to get to this level. And excitedly enough, we have his episode on Growing Exposed airing this Sunday, 420 at 420. So we are going to invite him in right now. And there he is. Awesome. Dylan, welcome.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Fantastic. You?
Good, buddy. Plugging away, man.
Very good. Very good. So I just watched the episode that is going to be airing on 420. And we talked about feeling of a brand. And I think you've done a really excellent job in association of a feeling associated with a brand. What made you do that? And why do you think associating a feeling such as Lamborghinis, helicopters, all these type of things, how important it is for a brand to associate a feeling, and what feeling are you going for?
Well, it's funny that you say that because Health Canada, they've actually came down on me recently about that feeling that I give viewers, and when we're making commercials or some Instagram things, say for instance, even filming out of my helicopter, recording, us coming down to micro. We're not even showing anything inside my helicopter.
Yeah.
But there's an experience that people can feel. They know they're up high. They can tell by the footage and that sort of stuff. So it is a thing. They think that it can make people have these wants way more, and they think it's almost like an unfair style of marketing, that thrill and that you get from watching some of my stuff. But to answer your question, right from the start, when I started my company, so many of these brands out there, they're all showing the beautiful gardens that they have, and a lot of the people and all of that sort of stuff. They just market in a different way that I do. I wanted to market as a lifestyle brand for a couple different reasons. You know, uh, with Instagram and that sort of stuff. Like I just lost my main account again, right, with over 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
That's why we're on my apparel account now, because we're limited to what we can show on with cannabis and that sort of stuff, or them thinking things are for sale, or we're marketing or pushing the Instagram meta, the meta police or haters out there, right? There's a lot of accounts going down right now. And so I wanted to be safer and advertise as a lifestyle brand, showing cool shit.
Yeah.
When you and I were together shooting that episode, you talked about Red Bull, the cool shit that those guys do. Their marketing's on point.
Totally.
I wanted to do the same shit, show the fucking cool stuff, living, right? Because that's what I do, man. I love living. I love living on the edge. I love that rush. I love showing that to consumers and customers, and it being different.
Totally.
Like there's not too many brands out there that are doing what I'm doing, marketing the way that I'm doing. So that's kind of where that all came from.
Yeah. I mean, in the episode, I mentioned, an average energy drink has such monster global penetration. It's so well known. Everybody knows who Red Bull is because they've been able to associate a feeling, extreme sports, be it whatever, the largest jump in the world, skateboarding. They've managed to get into all extreme sports and do some really cool shit with a sugary drink. But there's a really cool feeling associated with that. So I think you've done a bang up job in that regards, and kudos to you. So one of the things was really exciting, which no one got to see when we were actually flying around in your helicopter for that episode, was we literally crested a mountain just outside your grow. We were coming up over the mountain, and man, we got awfully close to an eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, buddy. It makes you feel alive, right? I mean, fuck, isn't that what living's all about, man? Feeling that fucking, I'm glad I'm a little bit older now, because I used to do a lot more, a lot of other crazier things with motorcycles and stuff like that. But, that's when you really have that fucking sense of being alive. And really enjoying life. I love that shit. So yeah, we did some cool shit.
I don't know if it's ADD or the way my brain's programmed, but when I'm going really, really fast or I'm really focused on racing a car or whatever it is, everything slows down in my head. Everything becomes very focused. And I'm 52 years old and still shocked I'm alive at this age because the amount of stupid shit we did as kids, hands down, we had access to a little bit of capital and some stupid toys, from snowmobiles to whatever,
Yeah, I was, my mom likes to tell me that I was a really reckless kid. And I think that that's probably a good term from, how I was, because I just didn't give a fuck. I never thought about, what could happen if I crashed, a motorcycle doing 280 kilometers an hour,
You wouldn't leave the house. You wouldn't leave the house. You'd be like, you know exactly what could happen now. But back then you were just having the best time of your life.
Totally, man.
Yeah. So I couldn't agree more. In the episode, you mentioned that you grew up on Quadra Island. Quadra Island is very close to the gateway to Destination Sound. It's an epic place in British Columbia. It's some of the nicest, warmest waters. It is. I didn't really talk about it in the episode, but where you grew up is super, super desirable and full of nature.
Yeah, it really is,
And
man.
full of hippies too. Like,
My mom and dad, I mean, my dad had hair down to his waistline, like for a lot of my years, growing up. I mean, they being featured. Same with Braun Hogan from Canada. His parents, same as mine. I think they were in a book together, this hippie book, it's kind of, this pulp kind of thing that they're, or not that they were in it, but it was like, it was a real, it was a real thing, living that lifestyle and that. And, that's where I was introduced to, weed at a really young age. And, and as a kid, 12, 13 years old, I'd germinate seeds on my windowsill and, go plant them in the ground. And, I've always had a passion for that stuff. And growing up there, I mean, it's funny to say now, but I couldn't wait to get out of there. After I graduated high school, my dad lived in Langley with a construction company. I just wanted to, get out of there and, move down to the big city, they say. But now all these years later, I go up there quite often and, I do all this stuff that I took for granted up there, like salmon fishing and the hiking around there. And it's just so beautiful. The air is different than, down here in Vancouver.
it is absolutely, when you get just past Quadra Island, you don't see anyone. And you see, it's such beautiful landscape. The water, it's I mean, I don't want to give away the idea, and it's a bit of a, but Destination Sound, if you can rent a boat and go out for a week and or take your boat, whatever, it is absolutely incredible. That zone of the world is one of my favorite places.
Well, you know what, man? Like I've been in the Mediterranean before and cruises throughout there, and I've seen a lot of nice, beautiful areas. But Desolation Sound, like you said, I mean, all these boaters from California, they bring their
all around the world.
Yeah, man, all around the world, they're bringing their big super yachts through there. I mean, it is. I mean, it's hard not to say that it's the most beautiful place I've ever seen.
It's tough to beat, though.
It's tough to beat for sure. Yeah,
it's top 5 places that I've seen in the world. How's that?
I know, man. Yeah, it's beautiful up there.
I mean, you mentioned Braun about Salt Spring. So I had a lot of my upbringing on Salt Spring. I had an aunt that lived on Salt Spring. Same thing. I was brought into cannabis at a really young age, and it's funny having a bit of a crystal ball, in knowing that this is not something that's damaging, like Health Canada alludes to. These stop signs and, oh my goodness, fear mongering and reefer madness. That mentality has to change globally, and it starts and ends, right? Like, people are coming to cannabis because they're getting older, they're feeling pains, they're dealing with cancers, they're dealing with pains from chemotherapy, increasing appetite, all these things, right? And having a natural plant that doesn't have all the side effects, it's pretty amazing to be part of the industry. And your tagline, legacy to legal. Back in the legacy days, we weren't as certain of the positive benefits of this plant. We knew that it wasn't bad, but with legalization, we've seen it become good. And all of a sudden, there's been a groundswell of, oh my God, I don't have to drink anymore. I could actually use this and not have the negative effects of feeling hungover the next day, or recreationally enjoying it, medically using it. There's just this monster spinoff of so many things. And
Yeah, no, it's so cool, man, to be part of this process and and doing it. I mean, like you said, we've known each other 25 years now, but being, I started my company at the end of 2020.
Yeah.
Really, like I gotta say, man, there's nothing I'd be more proud of doing. I've done a lot of things, but this here, building this brand, right across Canada and having, as many great employees as I do, and really making an impact in the legal space. I mean, it's been an insane journey, and it's all good shit too that we're doing.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking it's helping people. Whether you smoke or you have edibles or whatever it is, it's a positive thing. So it's really a nice place to be in, and feeling good and with what you're doing and that, which is pretty awesome.
yeah. So you have a pretty good finger on the pulse of the industry. What would you say to someone that's interested in getting into legal cannabis today?
Well, it's funny, man. With all these changes, with all these changes to the medical, platform with, still on the other side, dude, I've had fucking probably, in the last, I don't know, I mean, for sure in the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've had probably 7 to 10 people reach out that are looking to switch over to the legal side. Health Canada's cracking down on these big licenses now, right? They're not renewing these big
Yep.
licenses
Yep.
for, a bunch of these big shows and that. So I've actually had this conversation, or even today I was on a call with somebody this morning, and they're seeing what we're doing in the market, and they want to and do it too and that. But in my honest opinion, I think it's I think it's a really fucking tough space to be in, to be honest. I think it's I've got friends with, a bunch of money, that they can invest. They can dump 2, 3, 4 million, whatever it is,
Yeah.
into an LP or whatever. But you know what? I always tell people you have to be a certain type of person too. I mean, and it depends on where you want to help, if you want to build, a big successful brand or, an LP, or if you just want to be a wholesale grower. With the new micro, now you can from 2,150 square feet of canopy, now they've tripled it, Health Canada. So a lot of these guys with these big grows on the other side, they want to come over. And if you want to, like, I think you really need a good game plan with, you want to just be a wholesale grower, just like you probably are in the legacy side right now. You're fucking selling it by the pound. You're selling basically at wholesale prices. Somebody else is doing all the packaging and distribution and that. So I think really having a clear game plan and not getting too excited about, hey, I want to build a brand, and because I'm going to get $5 plus per gram, and instead of looking at whatever the market price is per gram on the wholesale level. So I didn't really like understanding what the game plan
Mhm.
is. It's really fucking tough though, man. Like the amount of paperwork that's involved, reporting, Health Canada.
How was
I
that
mean,
for you? How was that for you to get your license?
my security license took me 15 months to get it. I was worried that I was going to get turned down, but even my lawyer, she was prepared to, make an appeal with, if I didn't get it, because it was such a big thing for me to get. Like, it's a huge milestone, to get these things, especially, if you were on the other side at all. So it's nice knowing that I did get it. So it's difficult, but that's one of the easier things to get. I mean, you can still operate with a micro and not be security cleared or have it denied. There's still, ways around that aren't a big deal, but yeah, like honestly, man, like like if you have a couple $1 million to invest, like there's easier ways to make money. Buying real estate, for instance, I love real estate. It's a big passion of mine, is real estate. And you can go, buy a lot or two lots or whatever it is, look for an area where the market's hot, and you have that appreciation. And you don't have to do much. Some of my buddies are semi-retired. They don't really want to do that 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, like I've done for such a long time. Now I'm pretty fortunate that I understand the term now. Thank God it's Friday. I've never fucking understood that. It's never been a thing to me ever. But, luckily, I'm in a good place that I have, great staff and things. I can actually take Saturday and Sundays off now, where, I for sure used to work Saturdays. Yeah, I don't know if I kind of feel like I went off track a little bit.
No, but listen, I think you hit the nail on the head. If you have a ton of money, this might be the wrong place to invest it, because if you love the plant and you're passionate and you're willing to put your hard work in, I think you're going to find opportunities. But you better come into this industry loving this industry.
Yeah, and even loving it, man. Like, there's a lot of people that fucking love it. Like, it's a very in the cannabis space. So many people are. It's some of the most passionate people in any space, in my opinion. But you also have to have that business sense too, and really be business driven. And because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's a business. And I can be the most passionate about whatever it is, but if I don't treat it like a business, I'm not gonna be able to have my employees come in next month. I have to watch distribution, sell through, all of that stuff. So it really is a business first and foremost. A lot of people say to me, I don't have the money to be able to get in, but they might be a type of person that's really driven like I am, and fucking never, like, how many hurdles had in front of me in this space. I'm like, fuck, man. And here's another thing I've got to get past in that. But you get past it because you fucking put your head down. Mindset, man, is fucking massive. I've really learned that more in my last 10 years of business. Your mindset, fucking, never not getting discouraged, powering through those things. So, I'll wrap it up real quick. So somebody with a bunch of money, if they don't have that other thing, because I really think the most important thing is, I think it's harder to find somebody that has that mindset, has that drive, fucking doesn't mind working 12 hours a day, than it is to find money. Like, even if I had no money, I think I could get friends and family, people that believe in me. I could go pitch them on, hey, I want to do this. So I think it's easier to find money than finding that person that understands business 100%.
Listen, good business acumen comes with time. Right? Like, you're not born into understanding how to run a company. You can go to school for it, you can do this and that for it, but especially like good work ethic. You came from legacy. Legacy is still a ton of work, right? To bring a really nice product to market involves a ton of work. And it's one of the things that I like, because when legalization first came into the space in Canada, there was a lot of failures. A lot of LPs were failing. They were dropping like flies. There was nothing but money thrown at them, but they couldn't produce quality flower. They couldn't get to market fast enough, and they couldn't produce nice looking flower. They didn't understand curing. They didn't understand anything, because they hired people that were not cultivators. And you had a massive leg up because you had years and years of experience on what it takes to grow nice flower.
Yeah, for sure. As you know, out there, there's some fucking weed that, we don't even see on the legal side, because they can't get the BCLDB to take it, or the OCS, or whoever it is. And the reason that, the BCLDB, for instance, they might be hesitant on bringing in some, a new brand or an LP, because they're worried about sell through, and they don't want the stuff to get, to sit in their warehouse and get old. And when it gets old, unlike wine that gets better in age, weed doesn't. Like, weed does start, it does start going off, and that the longer it sits. So, having like, and again, it's whether you want to build a brand on the one side, or you want to kind of wholesale grow. So it is a little bit different, but building like brand awareness, man, is fucking number one, in my opinion. Great weed, you need that also to follow very close, but brand recognition to move fucking cases and units and whatever else in the market. You need people to know who the hell you are.
You're entirely right. Like, branding is everything. And listen, I'm the poster child for Green Planet. All I do is bang the Green Planet drum day in, day out. There's a reason why, even these lives, right? We talk about, you know, and I think branding is at the heart of everything that we do. I can't help but notice you got a whole bunch of bitchin' tattoos. In the episode, you'll see Dylan's covered from head to toe in tattoos. And I'll actually show you. This is how much I like branding. So also, I grew up in the 90s, and I always thought that lower back tattoos were bitchin'. And I'm going to bring them back. So check this out,
It's fucking little tramp stamp.
right? I thought it was a really, really good way to highlight my brand. And, and nothing is cooler than a male tramp stamp.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. My brother's got one. Might not be quite as bad as that one, but he's got his nickname Rusty tattooed across his shoulders.
Yeah.
And and it's yeah, it wasn't a lot of creativity with that one. But yeah, I think my first I was in grade 12 when I got my first tattoo. Now they're very, now
I
so
was
many people
52.
have. Yeah, were you really?
Yeah.
No.
That's the first
You
tattoo.
just got
That's my first lower back tattoo. Yeah.
no way.
Bitchin',
Shit.
right?
Bitchin', right?
Yeah.
I thought that you got that years ago.
No. That's new. And as I get older, it's going to look like I'm flying because the wings are going to hopefully drop, right?
Fuck, that's funny, man.
It's gonna be 50.
Yeah, right on.
When I'm 80, it's going to be really bitching. The eyeball's going to be sagging and fucking, anyways.
Well, my mom's, I think my mom's 74 now. She's still getting tattoos. I mean, I kind of got them going for her, I guess. I think she got her first one in her 40s, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're not as flattering as you get, as you get older, getting them done. It's harder for artists to put the ink on the skin too, right? Because it's not as tight.
The skin's all loose.
Oh yeah, then you're stretching it, and so well, good for you, man. That's cool. I had no idea.
It's bitchin'. Yeah.
So, what else? We're going to jump into some questions pretty quick here. And what else? What's trending strains wise? That's another question I had for you. What's trending? What's up and coming? What's exciting? And then I also want to talk about Health Canada and their licensing. So there's gonna be two more questions coming. What's trending? What's hot?
Well, hey, so there's fuck. We just in BC. We just launched. I don't know if you've seen our hash roll that we just launched
I didn't.
in BC, buddy. This fucking thing is insane. So we're the first. We're the first BCL or at Central with the BCLDB to come out with this hash roll. So Dabble over on the island and Pistol, we teamed up. So it's a 2.25 hash roll joint. Are you familiar? Do you know what those are at all?
Yeah.
Or
I do.
okay, so we have 11 millimeter glass tip on it. We have a
Yeah.
6 cigar band on it. Dabble supplied us with a live rosin.
They do some nice work on live rosin. They had a strawberry cough, I think. It's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, man. In Atlanta, yeah, they're such good people, those guys. Yeah, so it just hit the market yesterday. I mean, that's what I love innovation, man. I love new, like I mean, it's our first new category, from flower to pre-rolls. So
Yeah.
this is kind of our first infused. But the amount, like just some of the stuff they're doing down south, they're fucking way ahead of where we are here in the Canadian market.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, I'm most excited about that. Like being able to innovate some of these new SKUs that we're coming to market with. This, I'm not kidding, Justin. This is the hottest fucking item in all of Canada, bar none, bar none. We have it coming out in Ontario in 3 months, and there's nothing like this on the market. So that's kind of that's one of the things that I'm most excited about. But this year, the first 3 years, building pistol, we just had two categories. We had flower and we had pre-rolls. This year, here, 2025, we just launched the hash roll, the IPR. We've got vapes coming out. Vapes will be out in BC, I believe, June or end of June, July. And then we're the first to have live rosin sugar-free gummies that have been out on the market now
Yeah.
for a month or so. I'm really big on health and that sort of stuff, and so it's really important coming out with a great tasting edible. So those have been doing really well. I really want to come out with something to help with, like, I don't get a ton of sleep. I'm like 5 hours a day, 6 when I'm lucky type thing. I'm up at 4 every morning,
Yeah.
and I'm working with the guys that are doing all my edibles and that. I'd love to come out with
Higher
with
CBD.
a yeah, with you, buddy. These guys are fucking sending me samples like crazy, and so far nothing's really help me get to the point, but I already have the name for it. When I have something, they're not money makers at all. But if I can help people that are like me, high functioning individuals that can take something that fucking has you arrested and ready to fucking attack the
The
next
big,
day,
the
you
big deal.
know. Yeah, that's kind of something it's more of a passion project, that one
Yeah.
there, to come out with that. But
At least twice a week, I take a high CBN gummy. At least minimum twice a week. And I don't like to do it all the time, but twice a week, I'm finding that it really, when I've got last night, I woke up a little bit groggy, but last night, and same, right? I need,
when you need them, man, you need them, whether you wake up
absolutely,
groggy or not, right?
but I got a great night's sleep. And that's the important, and I'm, functioning the next day and running 100 miles an hour, that's fucking super important for me.
Oh, buddy, me too,
So,
man. Yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest things, with building a company, because you know what it's like to build a big company, and you've just, my mind just does not stop racing, basically. And if I'm not, if I don't wake up fresh and, with that extra sleep I need, it does affect me mentally throughout the day, and
sure.
I need to fire at all cylinders at all times.
So with legalization coming on board, we saw Health Canada printing licenses like crazy. They printed a lot of licenses. I don't know how many there are right now in Canada. Probably, what do you know the actual number of how many there are in Canada?
No, you know what? I don't know. I've
Yeah.
lost track, man.
I'd probably say it's just under 1,000 licenses in Canada.
Yeah.
But the issue is you can only consume so much cannabis. So there's a lot of product, a lot of brands on the shelves, and Health Canada is still printing licenses, knowing full well there's so much product on the market.
Yeah. Crazy, dude. You look at the alcohol industry. I mean, you know how hard it is for
Super
a
hard.
new brand or new company to get any shelf space at all. It's totally fucked the way that they're doing things here. Overproduction's a
Yeah.
problem. I tell a lot of these guys from the other side that want to pop on this side. We're coming down with 500 pounds a week. Blah blah blah. We can, can you help us move that side? I'm just like, man, like those are such big red flags. People they have no idea, like overproduction the problem. And I'm really big on, a lot of guys are going overseas now,
Yeah.
like sending shit to Germany and Portugal and all these other countries, sorry. And even there, like, fuck, man,
And they're starting to supply their own market there.
supply and demand, right? So
Right.
we all know from like old days, supply,
Yeah.
right? You start getting too much supply, there's too much shit fucking kicking around on the streets or wherever it is, or whatever the programs are, or whatever. It starts driving prices down,
Yeah.
right? So, to base things on, or why Health Canada why they don't make some changes. I mean, to be honest, dude, like I'm not fucking surprised. It's a fucking shit show the way. Actually, I should have somebody that I know is listening to this or whatever. That's part of my
But,
team, and
but
she always wants me to.
It's very, very difficult. I'm saying it on your behalf. It's a fucking nightmare. The government's the only customer, right? That's the first thing. So you only have one customer you can sell it to. And you have to win over the retail stores, win over everybody, and compete with so much supply in the marketplace, right? So I asked the question earlier, what would you recommend, if someone wanted to get in the space? And it is a very full space, and the government is just interested in making tax. Absolutely. They're currently the ones that are winning.
Yeah, for sure.
No matter what, they don't have a chance of failure, but no different than eggs, dairy, and these other things. They have marketing boards that limit the amount of supply of that product to ensure that the grower or the farmer makes money and all the way along makes money. But in this industry, it's like, oh, we'll just print another license. You're going to pay the tax for the license, and we're going to flood the market with whatever, and you may or may not succeed. And I think setting people up for failure is a really shitty way of doing business. It's not fair.
Also, Justin, it's in all different aspects of the biz, not just the growers or the, you know, brands and all that, even the retailers and you know,
Absolutely.
these fucking retail stores, you know, they put their hard-earned life savings into some of these stores, and meanwhile, across the street, you know, there's somebody operating illegally, not paying the taxes, no
Sure.
excise, all of these
Absolutely.
things, and that can fucking cripple businesses, right? I mean, there's not a lot of policing with that stuff, which, you know, I think there should be, because fuck, we're all trying to do it right, you know,
Oh, yeah.
by crossing all the T's and dotting the I's.
Yeah.
And it's just so unfair that you know, that things are the way they are still with this, you know, 5 or 6 years into legalization now. They need to make some changes and slow down the fucking licenses, man. These are just like old medicals
It's
back in the day. It seems
simple
like that they're
things,
handing
right?
out.
It's simple things. Listen, I don't know if policing is the answer myself, because I think there's an overabundance of policing to begin with. It's just limit the amount of licenses, for God's sakes. Meet the demand, right? If the supply meets the demand, everybody sells through. If there's a monster supply, price plummets. That's the simple economics of demand and supply. And we really need to look at that. That's the most important part. So
I know but how do we change that though? Like, I mean, it sounds so common sense, right? I mean,
You
common sense, it all
you
makes sense to
stop
me.
printing.
you stop printing licenses,
Yeah.
number one, right? You limit canopy size. If you limit canopy size,
Well,
like,
they just
listen,
extended it three times.
I know,
3 times the
No
size
kidding.
now.
no kidding. So what's going to happen? 3 times more products going to hit the market,
Yeah.
right? We went and did Rock Creek years ago, 60 acres of cannabis. That's enough for the Canadian market as a whole.
Yeah.
One place I walked in, I was like, 60 acres of cannabis. I looked around, I'm like, who's smoking all this?
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, man. And
So
you know, I mean, it's a bloodbath out there, you know, on a bunch of different levels, and you know, there needs to be change. You know, and I know there's a lot of people that are, you know, trying to make changes from, you know, from this, you know, the LP side or brand or retailers and
yeah.
that, but you know, I have Health Canada. They come and, you know, they audit me 1 to 2 times a year. We have a formal debrief at the end of it, sitting around, you know, my boardroom table, and you know, they even understand a lot of our problems and that, but it just comes from so far up top that I don't know, man. You know, like I think it's going to take years before we really see change, unfortunately.
I unfortunately agree, and the government's going to make all the money and the cream off the top, so it doesn't matter to them, right?
For instance, I'll just kind of like on that last note. I mean, you know, like I'd love to come to market with a 1 ounce, you know, skew.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, man. I paid $28 for that bag just in excise tax, not alone all the other tax that I also pay, right? Because there's, you know, federal, provincial, and that. The government just off that one bag, and you know, like trying to,
Before you get started,
before you get started, and I can't come out with an ounce because by the time I pay, you know, by the time I pay the grower, we you know, we have 150 lights here, but you know, I sell a lot more than I produce here, so I'm looking to a grower, and I need to make them an offer of like 50 cents a gram for the numbers to work for
Yeah.
me, and I'm netting 50 cents a gram, but the government's, they're getting $1. So they're the ones that are winning. I mean, at the end of the day, man, you know, we're just trying to fucking slice.
it's fucking brutal. It was supposed to be $1 a gram on a $15 gram,
Yeah, totally.
right? So
And dude,
the
it's a
system is
third of
very
that.
geared for you to fail. And you know, even as we alluded to at the very beginning, right? Pistol in Paris is considered a luxury brand. You know, you've really tried to have a feeling associated with it, and they're going to take that away from you because you can't even. It's thank God you love what you do, and thank God I love what I do. But you better hope and enjoy that, because you're right. It is a very difficult space to carve out a living in. And you know, we just talked about, they just tripled the size of the microprocessors, which means there's going to be triple the amount of volume coming down the pipe. And I can only smoke so much cannabis. Right? So lots of really interesting things to come. do you see more gas strains coming back?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the market, I think it changes just like, on the more the legacy side. Fuck, when, 3 months, 4 months, gas is in, and then and then it changes to exotics. I used to chase that. I'd fuck, soon as I'd switch everything over to exotics, fuck, it was a tough sell. Yeah, that's beautiful. I know what we do, with Pistol, we're big on the gas, obviously, but I just think it's old school BC bud is what it kind of reminds me of. And my director at Cannabis, Mike, he's fucking super.
Good dude.
That gas is he on or?
No, but he's a good dude.
Yeah, yeah, no, good dude. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I was talking to somebody today. Like, I don't think that exotics are more hot at times on the legal side than gas. I just think, like, I know we just kind of stick to our lane. We're mainly gas. We'll do the odd exotic here and there, but I know other companies out there that are fuck killing the exotics too. So
Do you have any one-to-one CBD to THC flower?
we don't. Not. It might be on the horizon though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a point where you didn't go through with your dream and ever doubt yourself?
Oh my God, I know this answer.
Say that again.
It's a good question. And by the way, this happens 5 times a day for me. With respect to your dream, dude, do you ever doubt yourself?
Never.
Well, for me, the punches just, keep coming, and I wake up every day and I don't give up.
Yeah.
I don't doubt myself per se, but I question everything all the time.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from, but man, dude, I love difficult things.
Yeah.
I fucking wake up every morning, I work out. I put my foot in after my workout. I put my foot in my cold plunge, and I'm just like, fuck today. I'm just not gonna do it. Fuck, I'm just not into it. But I power through it, and I get in it, and I do it, and then I feel so good after
Yeah.
I did it. And that's kind of everything I do in life. Like, fuck, everything seems like, not everything obviously is tough, but I love fucking challenges. I love chaos. I grew up in a chaotic kind of household and that sort of stuff, and I love difficult things, and I'm really confident with everything I do and getting there and that. I mean, my wife's such a huge supporter of everything I do. And I mean, she'll, obviously you'll have a bad day, here and there. Luckily for me, it's not all that often. She would maybe disagree, but because, she obviously knows me really well, but, fuck, dude, I just power through it all and I just fucking do it.
I think it's safe to say, like, having an incredibly strong woman behind you makes you capable of anything. That's the first thing. Like, I can state that for sure.
Yeah.
Without that as a backbone, success is going to definitely be measured.
Yeah, if I didn't have the support of my wife, for sure, with not just building a business, but a family, and then some other things. She does all my meal preps for me and all on that. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't probably be where I am today. I mean, it's such a fucking it's a
Yeah.
massive thing for sure.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
To go back to it, my primary business partner, and it's like anything, right? Really, business is all relationship based. And
For sure.
it comes down to who you know and how strong you know that person. And we've knocked it out of the park over the years with certain people and being aligned with certain people, being aligned with some other people. It can definitely go the wrong way. That being said, recently there was a tragedy that happened within our company, and I looked at Steve. I said, "Hey, we haven't been here. We've been here before. We'll get through it. We'll get through it as we always do."
I got goosebumps you said that.
Yeah.
About that. But yeah, you guys are just kind of obviously moving forward, and
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Same type of thing.
Yeah.
You adapt, you overcome, and you succeed no matter what. And we've always had that mentality in the company. And in an industry, I think nutrients is the most difficult segment within our industry. Because if something goes sideways, it's got to be the nutrients. It's never the grower. It's never the. It's always the nutrients. Oh, that happened. So So,
Yeah.
you know, the show
Yeah,
growing
for sure.
the show Growing Exposed was about highlighting the products and the brands we're with and going into gardens and showing our products being used. That was the original genesis of the product of Growing Exposed. Seeing people have incredible success was always at the forefront, right? We know how much love, care, and attention we put into our brand and our products, and it's the best feeling. So when someone says, "Oh my God, I did this," right? No different than what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
When you have positive feedback on something you put your heart and soul into, it's a great feeling.
That's the best.
Yeah, it really is good. Sarah, more questions. Are you looking to join the liquid diamond game, THCA crystals?
You know what? Not at this time. No. I kind of leave more of that stuff up to my director of cannabis, Mike. He deals with more of that. I think we've got 2025 and 2026 carved out for what we're bringing to market. So I like doing everything under one roof too, as much as I can, and that would be more difficult for me to do that. So
Okay.
tonight, not right now.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
What's your favorite product you've made so far?
You know what I was just talking about at that hash hole that we
Yeah.
just came out with this fucking thing, man. I wish I had a picture or one of them here in my office, but I don't. But you know, like
I'm
what's
gonna
that?
do.
I'm gonna do a little tradesies with you. I've got this stuff here, which I want you to try.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is, Justin. I'm an LP licensed.
Oh yeah. Tradesies. I'm gonna go to the retail store and buy it. Sorry, I misspoke. I forgot about I forgot what country we were in.
That's strong regulations.
Yeah.
Like it's funny. I was on with OCS doing a product pitch to them, and the category manager there that I just started dealing with because I usually deal with a flower category manager and pre-rolls, but for infused, I was dealing with her, and we were pitching them on this hash roll. And she was saying she just loves her position because it's so cool, new things, innovative items that come out or infused pieces that come out. There's only so much you can do to flour, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like flour, so same with pre-rolls. So my favorite thing to date is definitely this hash roll, and you'll see some other things.
I love hash.
Cool things,
It's my favorite. It's my favorite way of consuming cannabis. Is a beautiful.
hash, you said?
I love hash.
Yeah.
I love hash too.
Like hash is king. It's the cleanest. It's you're not consuming carbon, all the leaf, and you get the true essence of the plant through hash. So and
for sure.
funnily enough, hash in Morocco they literally bury hash to age it to get more CBN. So you get more of a narcotic feel. So the darker the hash, you literally are getting higher CBN as the cannabinoids age. They give a different experience. So
Yeah, I prefer hash, to be honest. It's just a different high for me. Fuck some of these new strains, that are out there and that. I mean, they're just fucking hair straight back, these ones. So I like more of the mellow kind of thing, right?
cerebral, floaty, easy peasy, nice, long term, easy chill. Like I don't want the THCA crystals. I don't want the diamonds. Like the diamonds, literally, this is the experience. And I find that hashes are much more chill, much more enjoyable. So
Yeah, no, I agree.
maybe that was fun for when we were younger, when getting
Yeah,
blasted with.
it hit me different in my 20s than it does now, man. For sure. I could smoke so much shit back then, and I don't know if it was as different or not quite as strong as it is today. But mind you, I wasn't building a big company either back then either. I was fucking doing other things. So yeah, it's just it's different. As we get older, as you know, man, things change a little bit.
Don't
Don't ever. Thoughts on CBG, cannabigerol?
You know what? I don't know a ton about CBG, to be honest. Maybe you can.
What's your thoughts on it?
So there's a lot of interesting data for CBG in respect to Parkinson's. CBG is a cannabinoid that definitely helps with seizures. You don't really feel it that much like CBD. It's not something, it's one of the cannabinoids that's non-psychoactive. I've done CBG just by itself and didn't notice much.
But I
Yeah, I think
think
do people put it or you do CBN, CBG? I think I just took some stuff to help with some sleep
yeah,
or whatever. Is that one of the things that would they do for sleep in that then? Or
Yeah, so CBG, also PTSD, also a blend of cannabinoids, right? CBN. This is how I like my cannabis. I like having all the different cannabinoids and as many terpenes as possible, and that's where you get that synergistic effect where all the cannabinoids are firing. And CBG is the precursor to THC, I believe. It's one of the first cannabinoids to come on, and as exactly. Someone just said CBG blinks your CB1 and CB2 receptors, as far as I understand. So having the different cannabinoids, it fires off, and it doesn't allow for any one cannabinoid to sit on that receptor. Having the multiple cannabinoids creates a much more synergistic, much more holistic way of consuming cannabis. So the plight for high THC is, I think, a very big miss in the legal market. Wanting anything over 21% or it won't sell is a real serious miss by our government, because there's 14% THC strains that will knock your socks off because they've got everything else, right?
Yeah.
So it's a breadbasket of cannabinoids, a cornucopia of different cannabinoids really cause the best effects, in my opinion. What do you use for IPM currently in the legal market?
IPM in the legal market. I mean, we use all the biological bugs. That's a really big thing that we do. I mean, we just try to test all of, we're very picky with anything coming from nurseries and that, just being preventative and put things in quarantine and that, and us do our inspections on all of that
yep.
stuff beforehand. But any of the sprays and that sort of stuff, that would be more my growers thing. I'm so busy now with the growth of the company and that I've lost track with exactly what we do, but I know beneficial bugs.
I think biologicals. I think biologicals. You hit the nail on the head, and grow strains that are. I think that's great advice. Growing strains that first and foremost don't have problems.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you hit the nail on the head by saying quarantining plants. Super important. Xerotol, Regalia. These are great products. Also, I know they're legal in 502s in the States.
But
Also having I just kind of flashed on this from previous experience. Even have the right growers in place that actually, that really, because some guys are better than others, and
absolutely.
having somebody that can pick that stuff up before you have a problem, because
Well,
I've seen a lot of grows get just demolished by bugs. The next thing you're doing a reset, right?
Yeah.
And if somebody was more vigilant in that, so that's part of it too.
Oh yeah, listen. I mean, that's the old "an ounce of prevention is a pound of cure." Having the beneficials in there to prevent the bug even from coming in the first place.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a ton of preventative things you can do to ensure your crop's success. This didn't have any sprays at all.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
I can't.
That's like a perfect fucking combo.
Yeah.
No sprays at all, nothing foreign on it.
And zero bugs, zero powdery mildew. And if I noticed something, I would have dealt with that plant immediately. And I would have being proactive as a grower is the most important thing you can do.
That's the
Term there, buddy. Proactive.
Yeah. That's
Instead of reactive, right? You fucking reactive, it's already too late sometimes.
Listen, I think in business, in life, in everything, you have to hit things. The people come knocking, right? And problems come no matter what. Sticking your head in the sand doesn't make problems go away. You have to, in my opinion, in business, you have to hit things very head on and deal with them immediately so that they don't become worse. So the problem doesn't exacerbate.
That's the thing, man. It actually can create problems with not being aware of these things and dealing with them right away and burying your head under the sand, right?
Totally.
So that's huge. And one other thing I should just flashed on too, like, with you having no sprays on that great weed that you have there. I know too from like the old days and that, like as much of it's a pain in the ass with Health Canada strict procedures of what we're allowed to, spray on our plants to deal with powdery mildew and all these other things. I'll tell you, man, like my wife, for instance, she won't even buy black market weed anymore. Not that the game has changed in the black market side. I mean, guys are doing things a lot different than 10 years ago, but I remember, seeing powdery mildew and guys are in there week 7 or 8 spraying the plants, right, with, Nova or whatever it is, because, it's a cash crop and people they just want it to look good and the buyer buy it. But the weed actually is, man, it's fucking, it's better on this side
This
here now.
This plant is medicine. Two things about the legal market I love, and I think they need to adopt into all food crops is testing, right? So anytime you're putting something or ingesting something, testing is really, really important. And I think, for romaine lettuce, for all food crops, why not do that testing that exists for cannabis? So one thing about the legal market is you can rest assured that you had to go through rigorous testing for pesticides, mycotoxins, and a whole bunch of things, and THC levels, terpene profiles, all these things. That's a monster cost added. So when you buy legal cannabis, you know for sure that there's no pesticide sprayed or no toxins, no paclobutrazol or any of these things used on that product. And I coming from old school retail hydroponics, there used to be an obscene amount of Ridamil and you name it, commercial pesticides, Pentac, Vendex, all these things.
Yeah, you've seen it all.
Avid, you name it, right? We've seen all those products being used because that's what was available and we didn't know any better. Today, we know better. Today, we know a whole lot better. So we know that we shouldn't be using PGRs. And honestly, we've known this for well over a decade. We've been recommending people not to use any of these products because at the end of the day, this is medicine. And you cannot give medicine to someone with a compromised immune system or something that is problematic. So that's one thing I love about the legal market is you're getting something that is guaranteed to be non-toxic. And the second thing, and this is the biggest one, is we know exactly how much percentage of the different cannabinoids are available. And the days of being like, here's a brownie, good fucking luck, are done, right? Like, even if you tell your assistant, be very careful with that spoon of butter, it's really strong, and she takes the whole spoon, that's on her. That's the fact that she had that bad experience isn't my fault. I'm just saying as a potential circumstance, the days of green.
That shit can happen, right?
Yeah, the days of greening out aren't there anymore. So, and especially for the new person coming to it, starting at 2 milligrams, that's a great starting point. Dip your toe in the pond. Don't eat the whole brownie. So, how was your experience with Growing Exposed coming out and filming at your facility? And how was your experience dealing with me, which is an interesting one altogether, I'm assuming. So
You know what? Man, out of all of the things I've done to date, Jeremy, I mean, he's the best in the business as far as I'm concerned. The fucking content that this guy shoots, the thought that he put in. I mean, shooting the episode or just, filming in general, that's the fucking easy part. It's all the editing and all that sort of stuff. And putting the plan together also. So my experience with you guys, I mean, it's to date my best thing that I've ever done with somebody working with you. I mean, we've known each other so long too. It's all I can say is it's about time that we did something together, all of these years. And, it took a little bit before, I was down to do something. Just, I really wanted to be ready to, and, at the right time in business and that. And, I feel that, where we're at in the market and that it's a fucking perfect time to put this out there. Fuck the shit that I mean, you and I are very similar with, we're both adrenaline junkies, right? We like doing shit fast and flying fucking high and no, or not flying, not literally flying high.
Yeah.
But like fuck it, buddy, it was awesome, man. And and I know Jeremy, we're gonna do some things later on some other things. So no, it's been an excellent experience for sure, man. It's been great.
Yeah. And what are people going to get to see this Sunday at 420?
So you're gonna see, I kind of go back. I talk about my childhood a little bit. I think people are interested with, how I was brought up. So many, a lot of people think that I grew up with money or had all these things. So it talks about kind of my, growing up on Quadra Island. Being raised by a single mom, my brothers, kind of my, I transitioned in some of my business things that I've done over the years. And then me making the decision to go to the legal side when I did. We show you guys do an awesome job in here, showing my staff, highlighting a bunch of them, my grow rooms. You guys will be able to see exactly what we do here as far as our grow, what our grows look like, from packaging to doing our pre-rolls. I think it's going to be a really awesome story, man, and I'm really proud with how this one turned out, and I can't wait to see it air on Sunday. It's been a long time in the making.
It has been a long time in the making, and you're right. Jeremy is the best at what he does, and kudos to him. He's always the guy behind the camera, but he is the muscle behind the machine always.
Yeah, man.
And once again, he's another person that doesn't accept mediocrity. He's always
Yeah.
pushing the envelope, and I'm grateful to have known him since grade 6.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
It's a lifetime of knowing somebody, and
Yeah.
to this day, there's a few people in my life that I know I can look at and go, okay, I have a problem. Be here, and there won't be any questions of how, what, where, when. They will be there no matter what, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, 100%, man. That's rare. I mean, fuck, dude. That's awesome. Grade 6. Fuck. Not many people can say that. So, that's awesome.
One more question from Jeremy.
If you had to go cry, would you like to cry in your Lamborghini or in your helicopter?
Yeah, if times are tough, and what do you want to cry in? What would you prefer crying in the most? The Lamborghini or the helicopter?
You know what, man? I'm not a crier. Fuck,
Crying.
fuck. I remember, I do remember crying when I lost a sibling. And I don't know. I don't think it matters. When I get to that point and and there's something that I get upset about, I'll cry in anything if it gets to that point. So.
Justin, go cry in your Porsche.
Yeah, so that's exactly what Jeremy says to me. He goes, don't complain about being, having a tough day. Go cry in your Porsche.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Which makes me want to get rid of my Porsche because it's like fucking, you can't win.
Yeah, no shit.
What kind of lights are you running? And I like this part of the story, actually.
Yeah. I think we talked about this in the episode. So I'm running 750 Gavita double enders. I bought them off of a buddy. I bought 180 of them, 150 of them. I think I paid 7,000 for them all, and I changed all the bulbs in them when I bought them used. Obviously, I mean, I had a lighting company come in and they quoted me 250,000 for all state of the art LED and that. But I'm because we are a small family ran business, I don't have investors, where I can just buy whatever light I want. So we just kept it simple, stupid. I understand Gavitas. I've grown a long time with Gavitas. We are going to make a change, eventually as we grow as a company and that, and we will start doing some tests in LEDs and that. But right now, 750 Gavita double enders.
And I like that because one, you walked in, you built something, you made it affordable, you're making money with them, and then you can step into LED and. But it's really important as a business owner. Sometimes you have to, you don't have the unlimited cash flow. So, if you have CMHs, every light has its win, right? And one of the nice things is, I think you actually are running an inner canopy now, are you not? I think you are running inner canopy, correct?
You know what? We're not. We're in the works of it. So, in the next 3 to 4 months, we definitely will be.
Because then you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, you do, man, for sure. And back to your point too about when I put the double endeds in, like as a business owner, everything comes down to ROI, man, return on investment.
Absolutely.
So you know how long it would take me to return, that to get that 250,000 back that I put out for LEDs versus 7,000 for Gavitas that are tried, tested, and true in that. So we have to be very mindful of all of that sort of stuff.
If you're self-funded, you work with what works. And in a situation like yours, if you came to me and said, "Hey, I want to run, I've got the money now," I would look at you and go, "Okay, buy one room, buy 10 lights, 20 lights in LED, test it, try it, love it, then step into it." Because I think it's very common for LED manufacturers to be like, "Oh, outfit the whole room," and I think you do people a disservice by forcing the sale. I think it's really important that you walk before you run and you succeed. That. I think as a wholesaler for a lot of different brands, all that matters to me is that you succeed with a product that we're selling. Once you love it, then you can scale into that next product. But I think people are sold in this industry a lot, and I won't sell you a whole room of LED unless you're familiar with how LED grow first, because there's different.
You kind of, I think you've always thought about the customer first. I mean, you can talk anybody into buying whatever it is and wasting a ton of dough, but I think that's one reason that you've been so successful in this space too, is having that honest conversation about what their needs are, and fuck, I mean, I want to, I've got some wants too, but it's it's a difficult space, and this side or the other side, and I think that's great information. I mean, you've always been really good with that.
Wow, thank you. What's your biggest lessons you've learned so far in this industry?
So the biggest lessons, man, is fucking never giving up. Like I've had so many roadblocks. I've had so many things. Between my Health Canada, my security clearance, the Alberta, the AGLC is actually more difficult getting through that than even my security license was. They do like crazy background check those guys. I mean, there's been a few times that a couple talks with my wife maybe where I'm just like, fuck, and I keep, fuck, now they want this and they want that, and but persevering and fucking pushing through and never fucking quitting, and that is, I'd say, is probably the biggest thing, man. Just fucking putting your head down and get it done. And and it's kind of weird because you get through these hurdles, and right now I'm gonna knock on wood. Right now I feel like I'm in an okay place, but I'm smart enough to know there's going to be some other hurdle in 3-4 months that I'm
It
going to have to
does
deal with
not
again.
stop.
Like I've been in business over 30 years, and it always leaves room to be surprised and go,
For
"Wow,
sure.
I didn't see it coming," or "I saw it coming. I got really proactive." Like this last downturn in the market, I saw it a mile away. The fact that they tripled the micro license square foot, that to me are indicators that we're going to see another downturn. We're going to see another year of a nice upward trend, but the moment supply too much, we're going to see a downturn coming, and you're going to see people struggling back in the space again.
So that's smart that you recognize that stuff.
Those type of little things, those little small nuances of stuff that happens, really put out your feelers. And no one's thinking 3, 4, 5 steps down the road, but if you've been in it long enough, you can see trends ahead of the trends. And little indicators come up, and
good sign of a good businessman, right?
it's something. We saw post-COVID, we saw sales double, and my first inclination was this is not sustainable, right? In a 1-year period, and then the market literally fell off a cliff, and everybody in the industry scaled up. We didn't. We stayed the course and said there's a monster downward trend coming. It hit, and we managed to not lay off anybody. So
nice.
Because of having that, human beings have very, very short-term memories, and they forget easily. So I'm not the best, but I've got a pretty good crystal ball. What was your biggest takeaway from the micro build?
My biggest takeaway from the micro build, I mean, it really made me realize that doing everything under one roof is fucking key to survival in this space. I mean, it's really like I went from, 2 years using, a processor to get my product into market and that sort of stuff to now us being in control to everything from A to Z. So my first 2 years, we were losing money. I did build brand, a brand recognition and that sort of stuff, which does have value. But my biggest takeaway from us moving into our building is we started being profitable very quick after we started doing everything on our own under one roof.
Perfect. I love vertical integration. It gives
Huge.
you control top to bottom.
Yeah, 100%.
What is the hardest thing you've encountered by making while you've been making your brand?
Hardest thing, man. There's a, fuck, there's a few things, but I don't know if there's really one hardest thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, all my employees are all great. I mean, I deal with a lot of employees here. That generally is fairly smooth. Our culture is awesome. I mean, I think my big,
regulations.
What about the silly I was about to say the silly regulations.
Oh,
You can't
well,
market your brand.
yeah, well, that's
that's
what
what
I
I
was
was
thinking. I
thinking. I
mean,
mean,
it'd
it'd
either
either
be
be
the
the
CRA,
CRA,
like
like
all
all
the
the
fucking
fucking
crazy
crazy
exercise
exercise
with
with
them.
them.
Marketing,
Marketing,
Health
Health
Canada,
Canada,
right?
right?
I've
I've
been
been
warned a
warned a
couple
couple
times
times
now
now
with
with
the
the
way
way
that
that
I
I
market.
market.
There's
There's
two
two
or
or
three
three
things.
things.
It's
It's
hard
hard
to
to
say,
say,
like,
like, is
it's definitely,
definitely,
there's
there's
definitely Health
regulations,
Canada and their
the
regulations,
CRA,
the CRA,
and
and
fuck,
there's
there's
another
another
one.
one.
I
I
just
just
did
did
an
an
article
article
series
series
with
with
somebody
somebody
about
about
this.
this.
And they're
And
all
they're all
about
about
fucking
fucking
even,
even,
man.
man.
Like
Like
they're
they're
all
all
really
really
different.
difficult.
Yeah, I agree. When you're not smoking your own, Dylan,
Yeah.
what are you smoking?
My all times that I do like and I do. It's hard to find on the market, but
What's that?
that's kind of one of the ones.
I
The
missed that.
blue. Oh, did you? Oh, sorry, I got cut out. I just said somebody call. I said blue cheese. The
Okay.
blue cheese strain. Yeah, I really like that one for whatever reason. Yeah. So that's probably what I'm not smoking if I'm not smoking my own.
Perfect. So the old school cheeses. Why do pre-rolls get such a bad reputation?
I don't know. Do they get a bad reputation?
I mean, I think originally they were being shoved in. You're getting too much trim, too much leaf. Originally, I think LPs looked at them as cash cows, and they weren't using true flower. And I know at Pistol in Paris, I can speak on your behalf.
Yeah,
You
dude,
only,
you want to hear something crazy, Justin? I'm not going to
yeah,
say what company. I'm not going to say what company this is, but we were just at Kind in Vancouver,
yeah.
and I don't know. I mean, fuck, people are going to probably know this. I had the biggest cannabis company in all of Canada come up to me, and they told me that I'm not going to say what department this guy was in, but they said, "Hey, I want to let you guys know what a good job you guys do with your pre-rolls." I had from coast to coast, I had, a bunch of people that work for us come back to me with their favorite pre-roll, and they had to tell us why. And it was all Pistol in Paris, mainly the pink goo. And it isn't just the quality of the bud or the flower that we put in our pre-rolls. There's the design, the custom filter, the colored filter, strain name on the filter, some of our colors that we use, the clean, labels and design. All of these things, I sign off on everything from A to Z,
Yeah.
design, everything. I'm still very involved with that stuff. But it was really fucking cool to have this guy come up to me. And he didn't have to come up to me and tell me this, but it's pretty cool to hear that a fucking big company is looking at that my little company is on a big company like this's radar. It was
There's no
pretty,
question.
There's no question, right? The broken coasts of the world. The big companies look at them originally and they want to acquire them because you have something that a lot of LPs don't have. The technical know-how, the effort, the time, the love that goes into it. And that's something that a lot of companies strive for, dream of, want, and you're not willing to cut corners. And that's really, really important. Right? When people in the industry have been accustomed to receiving subpar products and they try what really high quality cannabis is, it's really hard to go back.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's why
Yeah.
that question kind of threw me off a bit because, man, we're just concentrated on high premium quality pre-rolls. So I don't even fucking hear that other shit about bad pre-rolls or problem pre-rolls or whatever. All
It's
I know
very
is, yeah, all
profitable
I,
in some cases.
yeah, all I know, man, is 75% of what we sell in market are pre-rolls. I wish it was more flour, but unfortunately the real traditional guys that, used to fucking, grind it up and or even scissors date yourself
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah.
But like those guys are gone. Everybody's fucking in a rush to grab a 3 pack or a 1 times 1 gram or whatever it
Yeah.
is. Pre-rolls dominate the market now. So, I love pre-rolls. I wish I sold as much flour as I do in pre-rolls or for pre-rolls units, but yeah, they're It's fucking it's what everybody wants these days. And then, and then vapes too, right? Vapes are big, right? I see data on how big vapes are. They're a massive part of the space. All these young 20, or 19, 20 something year olds. I mean, everybody's in a run. They're all vaping. I mean, I don't fucking, luckily my teenage kids don't vape, but fuck it, they're like the minority. Everybody seems to be vaping in that now. So
Listen, I regardless of pre-rolls, I mean, I know that you're putting full flower in, which is important. I still like looking at the nugget. I still want to see it. I want to feel it. I want to touch it. I want to feel for how spongy it is, how cured it is. These are all such important things for me.
Well, that's an experience, right? That's an experience that you're not getting anymore buying a pre-roll, right? So, people still long for that. Not as many, not as many, but yeah.
Yeah. Is CBG good for PTSD?
Yeah, I think you were just saying that it's really good for yeah.
I mean, listen, every single cannabinoid is going to have a different effect with every single human that has a different endocannabinoid system. So I can't tell you, is this going to work for you? You need to do some homework, dip your toe in every single strain, find strains that have unique cannabinoid profiles, and find ones that will work for you.
Yeah, totally.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, and it's all different for everyone. Like I was telling you, my sleep, I struggle with sleep. I've got these, this company that I deal with for all my edibles. I mean, everybody's different. I wish there was one thing that somebody could take, but everybody's body reacts different to CBG or CBN or whatever it is.
So it's a trial and error.
Trial and error.
What's your favorite aspect of the industry now, and what do you currently dislike the most?
Well, yeah, I'll answer the second part. Dislike the most. I hate all the regulations. There's a lot of really fucking stupid regulations. I don't the CRA tax or excise. I mean, they based it at $15 a gram, the dollar. I mean, I hate. Yeah, I mean that's the stuff that I hate the most. The stuff I like the most. Fuck, dude, I love people coming up to me and telling me how much they like our flower, they like our pre-roll, or, people recognizing what we've done as a company and, and where we're going and that I really like, there's so many things. I mean, I really like all my staff, the culture that we've built here, I've never done what I've done here. People really rely on me and we just try to do the best we can with everything that we're able to do things with and that I don't know, there's so many things, man. I could keep going on and on about things that I like about the business,
but positive encouragement, I think, is one thing that really stands out, right? Like when someone comes up and says, oh my God, this worked so good for me, or that was such an awesome experience, or
dude, I get like veterans and I get some old people that are suffering with illnesses and that sort of stuff, and they'll write into my info at Pistol, my email on the back of the pack, and they'll say like how something's really changed their life, or now they're more mobile, or it's helped with their PTSD and that. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that to really fucking help somebody on that kind of a level.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, we started a brand for veterans by veterans, the 6-1 Charlie, exclusively for that, because veterans specifically have not been getting the best cannabis in the market. They've been getting a lot of the LPs, trimmings off the floor because they've been considered cash cows. And when you get positive feedback, it doesn't matter what it is. And it honestly, thankfully, Growing Exposed doesn't get a lot of haters. It's very rare where someone comes up and says, ooh, blah, 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 blah. Or they give a negative opinion. We may get 100 positive experiences. And I cannot say how important that is, because it keeps us driving the bus forward. And having that positive feedback really reaffirms. And it's really an awesome part of the community. And honestly, it's such a lovely thing to get positive feedback on your art, because this is your art, right? This is what you've decided you're going to pour your heart and soul into, and I'm super grateful for that. So hearing that resonate with you, that's something we share in common. So take the positivity
go share it with the world. If you have a positive experience in anything you do, make sure you tell the people, hey, fucking great work. It doesn't matter if it's a good restaurant. It doesn't matter if it's anything. It doesn't matter if it's an experience going to Home Depot, right? That salesperson did a great job. Hey, thank you so much.
It doesn't take a lot.
But no, man, it's such a simple thing to do, and it really can impact these people, right? From the smallest thing that we think is nothing, you know, as we walk by or whatever it is. So you're totally right.
Yeah, it sounds so cliche, but gratitude is powerful stuff. I think we're done, guys. We got best question coming up. We're gonna put that in the draw. Thank you so much. I can't wait for you guys to see the episode this coming Sunday at 4:20. At 4:20, we're gonna go live. Dylan, I'm hoping you can join us because we do a live feed and everybody chimes in. And I'm very excited for this episode. I think it's one of the best visually that we've ever done. I wish we got us just about killing an eagle in a helicopter or the eagle killing us on film. That was nutty. I mean, we literally we crested a hill and an eagle literally came in and dropped straight down as fast as possible. It just, both of us like, ah! So anyways, guys, I really appreciate everybody tuning in. Dylan, thank you so much for your time. Happy growing, happy consumption. If you haven't already, go try out some Pistol in Paris gear, and much love. Thanks, guys.
And hey, I'll just end it at this. Go follow us, Pistol in Paris Canada, on our IG.
Absolutely.
Trying to get some love back on my Instagram account. But hey, buddy, this was a fucking pleasure, man, being on here with you. And look me up or whatever. We'll look at doing that live thing on 420 at 420, and super excited to have this drop.
Yeah, wonderful. Take care, Dylan.
Okay, buddy. Okay, man. Ciao,
Cheers. Bye.